What's going on, guys? It's the Bigs Podcast, episode number 187, and today is the Week 6 review. With me, as always, the man that handles our research, Jason Ashby. Jason, the Mets just walked off the Pittsburgh Pirates without Edwin Diaz's help. Good job, Metsies. 4-3 win. How you feeling?
Yeah, absolutely, dude. Like I said, the team this time last year would have lost that game. I love seeing the fight. I love seeing the never quit, never say die. And yeah, week 6 is in the books. Another crazy week. Still no real separation in our standings. Some shuffling happening here, but everybody's kind of still in it.
Yeah. After week 6, pretty much everybody has taken a blowout loss in their schedule. So nobody's really differentiating themselves from the rest of the pack. So that's great to see. We love this competition. The fact that everybody's separated by about 20 games from top to bottom on the standings is insane. Um,
What I love is Cody is in eighth place at an even 500. So that's
yeah,
like perfectly symmetrical. It's actually quite nice.
yeah. And that's the spot you want to find yourself all season. You want to be right around 500 until the push for the playoffs. So anybody sitting under 500 right now, it's only 1 week to get back to it at this point. I mean, Jason, how far are you under? Two?
Yeah, it's not bad.
Yeah. So one win, you're right back over 500 and right back in the playoff hunt. I mean, this is going to be a wild season. I could see anywhere from 10 to 12 teams being involved in the playoff hunt, and that's going to be wild.
Yeah, yeah. I can't wait to see how this ends up.
No doubt. Let's dive into the first matchup here. It is the blowout of the week, and it was the first place Costas Paragas taking on the new first place team and defending champion Josh Haber, who gets a 16-2 whooping on Costas Paragas this week. On Sunday, Josh flipped runs, RBIs, untied stolen bases, and Costas took way too many walks by a pitcher to flip that category in Josh's favor. So it came in 12-5, goes out 16-2. On Sunday, 11 RBIs for Josh, 2 for Costas. 11 walks by a pitcher for Costas, 0 for Josh. And Schwarber got Josh runs and RBIs on Sunday with his 2 home runs.
Yeah.
In
I mean
that game.
that's what it boiled down to was Kyle Schwarber.
Yeah. Close categories this week. Josh wins by a run, 3 doubles, 3 RBIs, a steal, a win, a home run by a pitcher, 2 walks by a pitcher, and 3 relief appearances. Costas wins by 3 home runs and a strikeout, and they tied in triples, errors, and saves. For Josh on his bench this week, he goes 10 for 28. That's a 357 batting average with 3 runs that would have won the category, a homer, 5 RBIs that would have won the category, 2 walks, and 6 strikeouts that would have lost him the category if he kept them in. His moves this week, he only used 6 of them. Jose Soriano for a no decision against Toronto, Sean Gunther, Anthony Bender, Jordan Hicks for a loss at Minnesota, Max Kranick for a bad relief appearance, and Ben Brown, who went today. They're losing that game, aren't they, the Cubs?
Yeah, is he today or he might be tomorrow?
Maybe tomorrow.
I think he's tomorrow. Yeah.
All right. His MVP this week is we're gonna go with Schwarber for his Sunday heroics here. 400 with a 444, 5 runs, 3 homers, 6 RBIs, 2 stolen bases, 2 walks, and 4 strikeouts. 2 steals out of Schwarber.
Like that doubled his entire season.
and that's the difference in the matchup between winning it and losing it is the 2 steals out of Schwarber. Go figure. Go figure. Shout out to Andy Paez, who has been just unstoppable lately. 333 with the 333, 5 RBIs and 2 stolen bases. Another nice week out of this guy. He's been really good.
Yeah. Too bad you didn't hang on to him, huh?
I know. He was going to be my backup right fielder, and I couldn't carry that many Dodgers. I mean, there were 7 of them at that point. Just too many.
Yep. So. That's the Dodger that had to go.
Yep. Wrong one. The least valuable hitter is Tyler Stevenson, 200 with a 333, a run, a double, 2 RBIs, 4 walks, but 12 big strikeouts. And Josh tore the cover off the ball, hit 285 with a 370 on base percentage. So trying to find a bad performance here is a little difficult.
Yeah, and 13 doubles. I mean, Casas had 10, but that wasn't enough because Josh had to have 13.
35 RBIs, 35 runs scored from Josh. Just a really great offensive week.
Yeah.
His Cy Young this week goes to Tyler Alexander, wherever he is. Still on the roster? Probably.
Oh, it's Framber Valdez.
Oh, it was Framber. Oh, I'm looking at the wrong one. I'm looking at Costas's. Looking at Costas's. Framber Valdez is the Cy Young this week. And he went 7 innings with a win, a homer, 2 walks, 7 strikeouts, a 1.29 and an 0.71. The Cy Young goes to Ryan Presley. He faced 8 batters, gave up 9 earned runs. That's good for a 72 ERA, an 8 WHIP, and a loss in his one relief appearance, or one of his 2 relief appearances. Gross.
Yeah, that was that game where it was 5-5 going into like the 11th, and he gave up 9 runs in the 11th inning to the Giants, and they won 14-5 in the 11th inning. Wild.
Gross. They gave up practically nothing to get Presley, and he has given them practically nothing out of this whole thing. So
yeah, I think they're gonna switch to Porter Hodge, but we'll see.
Yeah, he's probably cooked at this point.
Yeah.
For Costas on his bench this week, he goes 0 for 9 with an error that would have lost him the category. So good job keeping that error out of the lineup. His 10 moves this week, he added Reed Garrett, Gabriel Arias, and Trace Mydroth for a steal. Alan Winans on his NA, Brendan Little for a clean relief appearance, Jimmy Herget for a bad relief appearance, Joey Cantillo for a horrible relief appearance, Luis May for a clean relief appearance, Cedon Rafaela for 2 for 5 with a double and a triple, and finished it out with Chase Petty, 3 innings, a loss, a 12, and a 4 in Houston. Great.
Yeah, that's not how you want to end your week.
Nope. Who else is the MVP going to be for Costas but Shohei Ohtani? 357 with a 367 with a 457 on base percentage. He filled the stat line: 9 runs, 3 doubles, a triple, 4 homers, 10 RBIs, a steal, 5 walks, and 8 strikeouts. It'd be weird if he was DHing and got an error, but
yeah, he can never actually fill out the entire box score because it's hard to make an error when you're the DH.
Yeah, impossible even. Seiya Suzuki is the least valuable hitter, 111 with a 111, 7 strikeouts. He did drive in 3 runs, hit a double, and score a run, so at least he didn't do nothing for the week, but next to nothing. The Cy Young this week is the aforementioned Tyler Anderson, 11 2/3 with a loss, a homer, 3 walks, 12 strikeouts, a 2.31 and a 1.11. Costas pitched to a 7.38 ERA this week. So his Cy Young is going to be Brady Singer, but it could be just about anybody else.
I mean, and this is a guy who was pitching to, sub 1 ERAs the last couple of weeks, right?
Joey Cantillo had a 33.75 ERA. Ferguson had a 16.20. Chase Petty had the 12. Ian Hamilton was bad. Brady Singer, the Cy Young, 8 1/3, a loss, 2 bombs, 3 walks, 3 strikeouts, and 11.88 and a 2.28 on the whip. Just a terrible pitching week. It is regression back to the mean if you look at the last 2 weeks where he threw to an 0.90 and a 1.88 respectively. So here you go. Now you're back to earth.
Yeah, it's a bit of a course correction.
A little bit. And this blowout loss does course correct Costas' start, where it was very surprising and he was out to this great start leading for the last 2 weeks. Let's see how he bounces back from this.
Yeah, who's he have this week? What's he got? He's got Mike Sherman this week.
Sherman.
Yeah.
All right, Sherman was off to a nice start too, but he has faded here in the last couple of weeks. Maybe he's due for a bounce back. We'll have to wait and see. As for Josh, he's defending his title very admirably at this point.
Yeah. No reason to think that he's going to go anywhere anytime soon. He's now 3 games above Ben. And, he's going to be there the whole year. Absolutely.
Oh, no doubt. This team around Juan Soto, Kyle Schwarber, and Jose Altuve, it's going to be it's going to be a force to be reckoned with this year.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, let's move to the next matchup here. It is my very close defeat of Ari Nisman this week. I took him down 10-9 on the final day. Very nice performance from me. I give myself a pat on the back.
Well done.
Thank you. On Sunday, Ari tied triples, which was annoying, but I untied runs, flipped on base percentage, and Ari took a loss to tie that category. So it was 11-9 in Ari's favor going in, 10-9 in my favor coming out. And close categories this week, I win by 3 runs, an error, and 29 ticks on the on-base percentage. Ari wins by 2 home runs, 2 walks, 5 strikeouts, 3 ticks on the ERA thanks to a stat correction.
Yeah, you lost a couple of earned runs on David Peterson, so that helped your ERA.
Yeah. And the thing was, I was pitching on Sunday to try to go after ERA, and Sean Burke didn't go long enough, and somebody else gave up a home run, so that was the end of that. We tied in triples and losses. For my bench this week, I went 8 for 45. That is a 178 batting average with 4 runs, a double, an RBI, 4 walks that would have won the category, 6 strikeouts, and an error that would have tied the category had it been in my lineup. I used all 10 moves this week. Jose Buto for a 2-inning relief appearance. Evan Carter, 2 for 5 with a run and a strikeout, and then he went 0 for 4 for the next 2 days on my bench, so I dropped him. Joey Cantillo was good for me. Logan Allen was bad in Washington. Landon Knack was good in Miami. Bo Brisky, a clean relief appearance. Bryce Elder was okay against Pittsburgh, but took the loss. Gavin Sheets tore the fucking cover off the ball in Colorado this weekend. That was a lot of fun to watch.
Yeah, I almost did it. I saw it there. I was like, I'm gonna do it. No, I couldn't do it.
Couldn't do it. 2 for 5 with a run, 2 doubles, 4 RBIs, and a strikeout the day I picked him up. Tobias Myers was serviceable in Tampa Bay, and Sean Burke didn't go long enough against Miami, though he was pretty good. Most valuable player this week goes to the player of the week in the National League. It's Freddie Freeman, who is just killing it right now. 500 with a 500, 7 runs, 3 doubles, a triple, 3 homers, 12 RBIs, 2 walks, 5 strikeouts, and an error.
That's like a Shohei line.
It is like a Shohei line. The least valuable hitter goes to Christian Campbell, 136 with a 136, an RBI, and 7 strikeouts. Okay, the kid had a cold week.
Yeah. He's still batting cleanup for the Red Sox, so, that's something.
Yeah, absolutely. The Cy Young goes to Logan Webb, despite the loss, 7 innings, a loss, a homer, a walk, 9 strikeouts, a 2.57, and an 0.86. And the Cy Young goes to Jackson Jobe, who pitched well tonight. 3 2/3, 2 homers, a walk, 2 strikeouts, a 14.73, and a 2.45. You take that out of my lineup, and I win ERA very easily.
Don't throw him in Colorado.
Yeah, Colorado's lineup isn't very good. I
know.
They would go off on
it. I did the same thing with Pivetta and got the same result. So it happens.
Gross. They're a bad team, but play against them when they're on the road.
Yes, that's the strategy.
And now for Ari's bench, which is the most headache-inducing thing of my Sunday evening. He goes 32 for 112. 32 for 112. That's a 286 batting average. 11 runs that would have flipped the category. It doubles, a triple that would have won him the category. 5 homers, 23 RBIs that would have won him the category. 2 steals, 7 walks, 28 strikeouts that would have lost him the category, and an error. There was a whole bunch of shit going on this week. He benched Gunnar Henderson for 3 days.
I don't understand the point of that.
There isn't one.
Why? But like 23 RBIs, like you see 44 to 29 on the box score, and you think, oh, okay, it's a blowout. But 23 RBIs were on the bench. Like that could have meant something.
Yeah, he could have pushed me a whole lot harder. He probably could have won this week if he managed it well enough. It's just we don't see enough action out of Ari. We don't see lineup changes. We don't see moves to fight for a category.
Yeah.
His moves this week, he made 2 of them. Jack Leiter for a bad start against Boston, and Joe Adell, who hit him home run. cool.
All right. Yeah. I mean, 2 is about average for him.
Yeah. His MVP this week goes to TJ Friedel, who was a pest. 304 with a 500 on base, 5 runs, 2 homers, 4 RBIs, a steal, 9 walks, and 6 strikeouts. With a shout out to Jonathan Aranda, who also just wore me the fuck out this week. He hit 538. Just insane.
Yeah,
Insane.
but he didn't play much, because he played everybody else besides Gunnar Henderson.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
And he played.
when he did play Henderson, he was trash. But
Mhm.
I think you play him over Reese Hoskins.
You definitely play him over Trevor Story this week.
Yeah, Trevor Story was bad.
He was the least valuable hitter. 120 with a 154 on base, 3 runs, a homer, 3 RBIs, a steal, a walk, 10 strikeouts, and an error. Yeah.
Yeah,
That was in your lineup.
That's better than Gunnar Henderson, right?
Right. Dylan Cease is going to be the Cy Young, 6 2/3, a homer, 2 walks, 9 strikeouts, a 1.35 and an 0.45. With a shout out to Tanner Bybee, who got the loss. 7 innings, 3 strikeouts, a 1.29 and an 0.71. The pitching staff is actually halfway decent on this team.
Yeah, I mean, Yamamoto definitely anchors it. The loss of
Yamamoto, Cease, Bybee,
yeah,
and Hunter Green, that's a good foursome right there.
Yeah, and the bullpen that he has is a good bullpen. It's just there's not enough of it.
If he would supplement it with some relief pitchers that don't get saves, he would have himself a great little bullpen and he'd be able to compete in relief appearances. But
yeah,
nope, not going to happen. The Cy Young goes to Shane Baz, 3 1/3, a loss, a homer, 2 walks, 3 strikeouts, a 16, 20, and a 3. Yikes.
Yeah, that's 2 bad starts in a row, 3 of the last 4. So trouble there.
Yeah. Well, I'm in 3rd place now. I still don't know how the hell I'm this high up in the standings. I have 4 dudes on my eye. I'm playing down 2 guys. Right? I've been playing down 2 guys. I get Chris Levy this week. It's the first 7 weeks. I saw it as a cupcake matchup as the first 7 weeks. And then the repeat 7 weeks. I was like, oh, I don't have too bad of a schedule here. So I'm not completely shocked that I'm 13 over and in 3rd place, but I'm down so many dudes.
Yeah.
My pitching has been god awful for a month.
But you had the guys, and now Acuna's coming back, Strider's coming back. You're gonna get healthy in a minute here.
Mm-hmm.
The league better be on notice.
Yeah. Ronald Acuna is starting his rehab games. Tommy Edman should be back soon, and Strider may be back as soon as next week.
Yeah,
and then we're just sitting waiting on McClanahan. So.
Yeah, but okay. I think if you get Acuna, Edman, and Strider back in the next 2 to 3 weeks, you're sitting okay.
I think so. As long as I can get it before I start the gauntlet, and the gauntlet includes that run of Costas, Lebo, the Habers, Bobby, somebody else, and Ben.
Yeah. So after your matchup with Levy this week, you go Ben, Bobby, Lebo, Josh, and Mike.
Yeah, that's the gauntlet. So if I get the guys back and I get healthy in that gauntlet, I should be okay.
Should be.
And as for Ari, until he starts participating a bit more, we're probably going to see him down in the basement where he is currently.
Yeah, I think he's got a couch there and some beverages, and he's comfortable there.
We're through 6 weeks, and the man's 25 games under 500.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I say there's no separation. There's a little bit of separation.
little bit. It shows who's working and who's not.
Yeah.
We got way too many managers working and a couple that aren't. And by a couple, I mean Ari.
Yeah. We love you, Ari.
Love you, Ari. He doesn't listen. Let's move on to the next matchup here. We're going to talk about Mike Sherman, who got a 10-9 win over Henry Collins this week. On Sunday, Henry untied stolen bases but took the loss, and then Sherman tied triples and flipped strikeouts by a pitcher. And it looks like a stat correction gave Lindor a stolen base, but Henry still won that. That's
Yeah,
nice.
let me tell you something. Stat corrections this week played a big role. Not a big role in this matchup, but we'll talk about it later on. But stat corrections were all over the place,
Yikes. That's why I leave some of this stuff Sunday night to you because Monday morning it might look completely different.
and it does. Yep.
It did. All right. Close categories this week. Sherman wins by 3 doubles, 2 wins, 2 saves, and 5 strikeouts. Henry wins by a home run, a stolen base, an error, and 3 relief appearances. And they tied in triples and losses. For Sherman on his bench this week, he goes 9 for 43. That's a 209 batting average. 4 runs, 2 doubles, 3 home runs that would have won the category, 6 RBIs, a steal, 7 walks, and 10 strikeouts. He did not make a move this week. He just
He kept a
dropped
couple
Kyle
guys.
Gibson. Yeah, he dropped Kyle Gibson and Hunter Harvey. Cool.
Yeah, that was it.
That's it. His MVP this week is a 3-headed monster, it looks like. We'll have to see which one it was. I'll go Hunter Goodman, 346 with a 333, 5 runs, 3 doubles, a triple, a homer, 7 RBIs, 5 strikeouts, and an error. Heliot Ramos hit 588 with a 619 on base percentage. Very nice week from him.
Yeah, and Hunter Goodman. I mean, it was the triple on Sunday. He was a single shy at the cycle. It was a triple on Sunday that gave him that category, and he had a hell of a game on Sunday.
Yeah. Yeah, he did. He had a hell of a week.
Yeah.
The guy who didn't have a hell of a week is Dylan Cruz, 071 with a 133 on base, 2 runs, a double, an RBI, and 4 strikeouts. This kid, he's looking overmatched.
Yeah, I mean, he's scored 21 runs, but he's it's not pretty, but I don't see the Nationals moving away from him. Like
No.
he's your future. Gotta keep him in there.
Yeah, I think they're going to stick with him too, and I think Sherman's going to do the same thing. I don't think he's taking him out of his lineup, but
Yeah.
he's definitely an anchor right now.
Yeah, for sure.
The Cy Young goes to Ronel Blanco, who went 14 innings, a win, a loss, a bomb, 3 walks, 17 strikeouts, a 193, and an 086 on the whip. The Cy Yuck goes to absolutely nobody because Mike Sherman pitched to a 160 ERA this week over 78 and 2/3 innings.
Yeah, I mean, Dennis Santana and Tim Hill, like those are your blow up ERAs at 450 and 540. Like, okay.
Yeah, we'll take those from relievers. Like, this is an absolutely wonderful week. I'm shocked that he only got 66 strikeouts over 78 innings. Like, that's a little bit low, but otherwise, he did a great job this week.
Yeah. I mean, he got 17 from Blanco and everybody else was just kind of mediocre,
Yeah.
but that's all right.
Yeah, absolutely. For Henry on his bench this week, he went 19 for 60. That's a 317 batting average with 10 runs, 4 doubles, 5 homers, 15 RBIs, 8 walks, and 11 strikeouts. Now, I'll say none of that matters, mostly because he won a lot of the offensive categories, and the ones he didn't were fairly big blowouts. Like, he would have had to get all 4 doubles in order to win the category.
Right.
And doing that would be damn near impossible because there was 2 on Tuesday, 1 on Friday, 1 on Sunday. Like,
Yeah. And like there were some pinch hits going on and yeah, that would have been tough.
yeah. That being said, Henry didn't have the greatest week on the bench. He left a 3-homer day from Dominguez on the bench. He left Correa's home run on the bench on Tuesday. Ketel Marte was back and wasn't in the lineup when Bryce Terang was out of the lineup on Monday. Like, they're just a couple of oversights.
Lapses, yeah. But he also benched a relief loss from Manuel Rodriguez, so that would have lost the category.
Fantastic job. Fantastic. He used 8 ads this week. He started with Ryan Zephyr-John for a clean relief appearance, Ben Kasparius, Kyle Gibson, who was horrible against the Angels, Trevor Williams, who was bad against St. Louis, Jose Urania, a 2-inning dud, but he was benched, so that's a good thing.
Yeah.
Herman Marquez was great, but he got dropped before the start started because
yeah.
I'm thinking it was a bluff.
I guess, yeah. But like he picked him up and I literally said, okay, he's had Kyle Gibson, Trevor Williams, Jose Urena, and Herman Marquez. Like, stop it. But Marquez was brilliant against the Padres in Coors Field, but he threw him away first.
He threw him away. He also threw junk baller Ryan Yarborough, who got a win against the Athletics in Sacramento, and finished it up by adding Luke Maley. Why?
I didn't know he still played baseball.
Neither did I. Neither did I. The MVP this week goes to Matt Chapman, despite his 6 strikeouts and 3 errors. Where the hell is he? Oh, I'm on the wrong team. That's why. Over here, Matt Chapman, 381 with a 458 on base percentage, 6 runs, 2 doubles, a homer, 3 RBIs, a steal, 3 walks, 6 strikeouts, and 2 errors are a bit ugly, but I mean,
The other stuff will play.
and he won both those categories, so it doesn't even matter.
Yeah. And he won, he won home runs by 1, and there's a 1
Yep.
home run. So there you go.
Yeah, absolutely. His least valuable hitter goes to Carlos Correa, who was horrible when he was in the lineup. Did not record a hit, a 250 on base with a walk. Congratulations.
But like, he was good the other days.
Yeah. Yeah. Instead, we're playing Geraldo Perdomo at short, which isn't a bad thing. He's been good too.
Yeah. It's a tough maze to juggle there.
It is. It is. The Cy Young goes to Michael Wacha. 7 innings, a win, 5 strikeouts, nothing earned in an 0.57. He went tonight, and I think he was good too.
Yeah, against me.
Yeah, great. The Cy Young goes to Kyle Gibson, who was awful. 4 innings, a loss, a bomb, 3 walks, 4 strikeouts, 11.25, and a 250. With a shout out to Adrian Morejon's loss in his relief appearance with a 108 ERA and a 12 whip over a third of an inning.
Yeah.
Gross.
Not good.
Gross. But listen, Henry's sitting in 4th place. Like, he's not surprising anybody this year. He's just flat out playing his game, and it's succeeding.
It's working. Yeah.
Yeah.
And even a 10-9 loss is not insurmountable. It's
No.
You're fine. And yeah, he's right there in the middle of the hunt.
Yeah, he's 10 over. It's a great spot to be, and I think he's going to do well this season. Who's he got this week?
Me.
Oh, that's right. Well, you need to get right and get over 500, so go ahead and whoop his ass.
I'll do that.
All right, sounds great. Mike Sherman. Mike Sherman is 8 under 500, but still in this thing. I mean, he's put up quite a fight over the first 6 weeks, and to see him in the fight and in the competition for the playoffs, I like it. I hope that we see more of it this year, but we'll see.
Yeah. I hope, 0 ads again, like maybe he didn't need any help, I guess, but he won the week, so I guess nothing really to complain about, but that's it.
Yeah. All right, we move on to the next matchup here, and it's going to be our commissioner Ben Nisman taking a 14-5 victory over Jimmy Dunlap. Quite a big win for Benji this week as he takes down a former champion. On Sunday, Jimmy struck out too many times, and so Ben flipped strikeouts. That's it. Nice, easy Sunday. Nice, easy Sunday. So it was 13-6 coming in, 14-5 coming out, and close categories. Ben wins by 3 doubles, 2 triples, the strikeout, a win, a loss, 2 saves, 3 home runs by a pitcher, and 2 walks by a pitcher. Jimmy wins by 10 ticks on the ERA, 10 ticks on the whip, and 3 relief appearances. They tied in home runs and stolen bases. For Ben on his bench this week, he goes 9 for 61. That is a 148 batting average with 6 runs, 3 doubles, 4 RBIs, 4 walks, and 19 strikeouts. And aside from the 19 strikeouts that would have lost him the category, nothing plays.
Beautiful.
It was a beautiful week. Absolutely beautiful week. 8 ads this week. He added Gabriel Moreno over 4 with 2 strikeouts. Luis Matos gave him a 2-run homer that, again, he won home runs by 1, so there's that one.
There you go.
Yep. Cade Povich, 6-inning loss against Minnesota. Mitch Keller, 6-inning loss against St. Louis. Dean Kramer, 7-inning no decision against Minnesota. Leody Taveras, Elias Diaz, 3 for 5 with 3 runs and 2 doubles, but he was on the bench and he picked him up for the game but didn't play him. I didn't quite
Yeah.
understand that one.
And revenge series in Colorado, like that's one also to be all over.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, the Padres were hitting the shit out of the ball all over Coors, so anybody
Yeah.
in that lineup was a good idea. I
Yeah.
don't know. Finishes it out with Julian Merriweather. His MVP this week goes to Byron Buxton off of the waiver wire. This guy, 353 with a 450 on base percentage, 6 runs, a double, a triple, 2 homers, 7 RBIs, a steal, 3 walks, and 7 strikeouts. He picked this dude up off of the free agent pile.
Like two people owned him before he did it. That's crazy.
Yeah, yeah. And I guess you're afraid of the injury bug with this guy, but like when he's on the field, he plays very, very well. So there's no reason he should have hit the wire, let alone ended up on Benji's team. But
Right.
I
You hang
digress.
on to him until he breaks, then you drop him.
Yeah, yeah. The least valuable hitter goes to either Luis Angel Acuna or Max Kepler. I'm going to go with Kepler. 111 with a 273, a run, a double, 3 RBIs, 3 walks, and 4 strikeouts. Acuna hit 167, had 2 stolen bases, though. Yeah. The Cy Young this week goes to Christopher Sanchez. 6 innings, a win, 5 strikeouts, 3 walks, nothing earned, and an 0.67. The Cy Young goes to Cade Povich, Graham Asshat, one of those two.
Yeah, I mean it was a pretty decent week on the pitching for Ben. Nobody really blew up.
Right. And 3.5 ERA will compete every single week. Just a shame Jimmy threw to a 345.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. As for Jimmy on his bench this week, he goes for 5 for 19. That's a 263 batting average with 5 runs, 2 doubles, 3 homers that would have won the category, 4 RBIs, and 6 strikeouts. The home runs, man, they came on Friday and Saturday. Corey Seager had 2 home runs on the bench. What are we doing?
Yeah, I think that's like a Gunnar Henderson thing. Like if Seager's in the lineup, he's in the lineup.
Yeah. I mean, he's playing Dansby Swanson, who had a good week,
He did.
but Brian Reynolds didn't, and he's in the utility spot.
Yeah. So there you go.
There you go. I don't know. 8 ads this week. He added Luke Keeschel, who's on the IL, Jackson Rutledge, Adam Frazier, Ryan Jeffers 0 for 4 with a strikeout, Michael Toglia 0 for 6, Jake Myers, Ryan Kirkering, and Ryan McMahon, who hit him a home run on Sunday, 2 for 3 with 3 runs, a homer, an RBI, and 2 walks.
Yeah. More on that in a minute. I was mad about that.
Yeah.
Because I
Okay.
dropped McMahon on Friday, and because I picked him up for the doubleheader, he shit the bed in the doubleheader. I drop him, and then he continues to go off. Like that's yeah. I hate McMahon.
It's annoying. It's annoying.
Yeah.
The MVP this week goes to Paul Goldschmidt, 348 with a 400, 5 runs, 3 doubles, a homer, 3 RBIs, a steal, 2 walks, and 4 strikeouts. Again, a shout out to Dansby Swanson, who hit 421 with a 522. He was really good as well.
Yeah, yeah. He was. Paul Goldschmidt still stealing bases is a thing though.
Yeah, Paul Goldschmidt has had an unbelievable start to this season. He's still hitting 349. He has 2 steals. He's scoring a bunch of runs. The Yankees made a good deal signing this guy for a 1-year deal. I
Yeah,
wonder if they'll bring him back after this year, much like they did Anthony Rizzo.
we'll see. We'll see. He's still getting up there, but
Mm-hmm.
maybe he still has another year or two in him.
Maybe. Brian Reynolds is the least valuable hitter this week. He went 083 with a 120 on base, 3 runs, a homer, 2 RBIs, a walk, and 9 strikeouts. The Cy Young goes to Chris Bubich. Seriously? 7 innings, a win, a walk, 7 strikeouts, nothing earned, and a 1 whip. On the season, this dude is doing pretty damn well. A 169 ERA over 48 innings. What?
Yeah, like I mean, last year he pitched to a 267, but he was a reliever last year.
Mm-hmm.
Like in the year before, he was hurt. Like this guy was off the map for like a couple of years.
Yeah, yeah. Kevin Ginkel wishes he was off the map this week. 3 relief appearances, 2 1/3 innings, a loss, a save, a bomb, 2 strikeouts, a 23.14 ERA, and a 2.57 WHIP. Yikes.
Yeah, gross.
Yeah.
I would be remiss if I didn't tell that Ben sent us the ERA and WHIP going into Saturday was
Exactly the same.
355 ERA to 358 and a 115 WHIP to a 114 WHIP.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
there you go.
There you go. It was that damn close on Saturday going into Sunday. And what happened on Sunday, you ask? Oh, well, that's just a great question because Ben benched out almost his entire team. He played 3 dudes, Rise, Nolan Arenado, and Brandon Nimmo. Got 1 whole strikeout out of them and won that category by 1. On the pitching side, he benched out everything. And if he plays Nate Eovaldi, he wins ERA and WHIP.
Yeah.
He didn't.
And if he plays his relievers, he wins relief appearances, but he ties losses. So
Mhm. Mhm. Jimmy, in response, benched out all of his pitchers as well, so there wasn't a whole lot of change going on Sunday in the pitching side.
no,
But Jimmy did hit 258 on Sunday, but struck out 3 times. That was enough.
that was it.
Mhm. As for these guys, I think they're both going to be really, really in the middle of this thing to kill the to kill the playoffs. Because if you're getting these guys late in the season on your schedule, look out because they're going to be fighting for playoff spots.
Yeah, I'm definitely not looking forward to facing Ben. He right now, especially he's pushing the right buttons. Everything's working for him. We said it last week. Like when the manager works right and the roster works right at the same time, yeah, that's trouble, and
Yeah,
it's happening right now for him.
yeah, he's the hottest team in the league right now, so watch out for him. Who's he got this week?
Who's he got? He has Cody Pyatt.
All right, Cody, you're up. You're the next one up on this current hot streak that Ben is on. Let's see if we can put some water on this fire that's going on.
And then you're on deck, buddy.
Oh boy, big matchup in week 9. All right, let's move on to Mike Haber and Brian Lebo. Upset of the week alert as Brian Lebo takes a 12-9 victory over Mike Haber. And it was not all that close. It was 15-5 going into Sunday.
Yeah,
And Mike flipped doubles, innings pitched, strikeouts by a pitcher. A stat correction took an error away from Alonso. So,
yeah. More on that later.
okay. So again, 15-5 going in, finishes out 12-9. Close categories. Lebo wins by 3 homers, 2 wins, 2 losses, and 3 walks by a pitcher. Mike wins by a double, a triple, an error, 2 saves, and 6 strikeouts. For Brian on his bench this week, he goes 12 for 55. That is a 218 batting average with 4 doubles that would have won the category, 11 RBIs, 2 walks, 11 strikeouts, and an error that would have lost the category.
Well, it would have tied the category now thanks to stat corrections.
How wonderful. We love stat corrections. They're our favorite thing in the world. As for his moves this week, he made 4 of them. Gavin Lux after the game started. James Outman 0 for 2 with a strikeout. Harrison Bader with a steal. And Brian Hudson, who didn't get into the game. The most valuable hitter this week is again Eugenio Suarez. 292 with a 414 on base. 5 runs, 2 doubles, 2 homers, 6 RBIs, 4 walks, and 7 strikeouts. For his least valuable hitter, it goes to Marcus Semien. 167 with a 167, 2 runs, a homer, 2 RBIs, and 3 strikeouts. This guy seems lost at the plate this year.
Yeah, 179 with just 3 home runs. Like this, he's hardly even playable at this point.
Yeah, he's probably gonna fall off. I mean, he doesn't have anybody else to play second base. Brian doesn't, so it's not as if he has somebody waiting in the wings to come play that position until
But
Jazz gets healthy.
right, once Jazz comes back, then that might change the equation a bit.
Yeah, but then you're still playing center field of Alec Thomas or Harrison Bader.
True. Yeah.
So pick one.
I mean, I guess you go with Simeon, right? Because it's Simeon. Like you
Mhm.
gotta figure he's gonna figure something out.
Yeah, yeah. The Cy Young this week goes to Sonny Gray. 7 innings, a win, a walk, 8 strikeouts, nothing earned in an 0.43. The Cy Young goes to Grant Holmes, you guess. 675 with a 150 over 5 1/3 in a loss. Brian pitched well this week. He pitched to a 244. That'll do.
A 103 whip. Like,
Yeah,
yeah, that works.
that will definitely play and did this week. For Mike on his bench this week, he goes 1 for 9. That's a 111 batting average with a steal and a strikeout. None of it plays.
Nice job.
Very well done. He made 10 ads this week. Grant Anderson for a clean relief appearance. Drew Waters, Chad Patrick, who was pretty good in his win against Houston. Austin Hayes on the IL. Hunter Dobbins, 6 innings and a no decision, nothing earned against Kansas City. Ryan Weathers to the IL. Kyle Manzardo over 4 with 2 strikeouts. Chad Patrick again, who was not as good in Tampa. And finally finished it out with Landon Raup, who was fine in a no decision against Minnesota. His MVP this week goes to Bobby Witt and Manny Machado. Bobby Witt, 357 with a 419. Had homers, 6 RBIs, and 5 stolen bases. Manny Machado, 478 with a 520, 7 runs, and 6 RBIs. Holy shit.
Yeah. I mean, those two guys, when they're having weeks like this, and you still lose a week, that hurts.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah. His least valuable hitter this week goes to Cedric Mullins. 118 with a 118, 2 runs, a double, a steal, and 6 strikeouts. The Cy Young goes to Matthew Boyd, surprisingly enough. 12 innings, a win, 2 bombs, 15 strikeouts, 3 ERA, and an 0.92 whip. Is this guy good this year? Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, like his worst start was probably the one yesterday against the Mets. Like, he's been really good.
Yeah, he's been fantastic. That's insane.
Yeah.
Okay, good pickup, Mike.
Yeah. I mean he drafted him, didn't he? Yeah, he drafted him, dropped him, and then picked him back up.
All right.
Yeah.
The Cy Young goes to Jack Flaherty. 3 innings, a loss, 4 homers, 2 walks, 4 strikeouts, a 15 ERA, and a 2 whip. He's not been very good this year.
No, no, and this is now, 3 starts in a row. I mean, he's lost one, two, three, four, five in a row. Um, and most of those have been bad. He had one decent
Mhm.
one that was, a tough loss, but yeah, it's not been pretty.
No, not been pretty at all. But Mike Habers, he's he's Mike Haber. He's weathering the storm and finishing is currently in sixth, right in the playoff hunt, as we
Yeah.
expect. And don't look now, but Brian Lebo is 7 games under 500.
Yeah,
He's coming.
he's coming. He's coming.
And the
Look, this
and
was
the tough part of his schedule, the tough part of his schedule is over.
yeah. The Haber brothers go at it this week, so that's the one I'm looking for.
Oh man, that's gonna be crazy. I love
Yeah,
that. I
yeah.
love that. All right, let's move on to the next matchup here. It is Frank taking on Bobby Russo, and Frank got himself a nice 10-9 victory this week. Congratulations, Frank. On Sunday, it was 12-7 in Frank's favor, but Bobby flipped batting average, on base percentage, untied doubles, but he gave up a home run to tie that category and give Frank the victory. So it was, again, 12-7 going in, 10-9 coming out. Close categories. Frank wins by 2 homers, 2 errors, 9 ticks on the whip, and 4 relief appearances. Bobby wins by 4 runs, a double, 2 steals, a walk, 8 ticks on the batting average, 15 ticks on the on base percentage, a loss, and a save. That's 8 close categories.
Damn.
Yeah. And he tied in triples and home runs given up by a pitcher. For Frank on his bench this week, he goes 0 for 4 with a run, 2 walks that would have won the category, and 3 strikeouts. The 2 walks were on Wednesday. Didn't think anything of it because the guy went 0 for 3 with a run, 2 walks, and 2 strikeouts.
Yeah. Uh, it's McKinstry. I mean, what are you gonna do? I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, he started Santiago Espinal, I guess, instead.
Mhm.
I don't know.
Yeah. He only made 3 ads this week, including, well, 4 if we include the trade of Yordan Alvarez to Cody for Ian Happ and Nick Castellanos. What are your thoughts on this?
Yeah, interesting. Alvarez is on the IL, so we're gonna have to wait a little bit to see how this actually plays out. Ian Happ is now hurt too, so there's that. Uh, I do feel like Frank has had a bit of a man crush on Ian Happ, so I'm not surprised to see this trade happen.
Mhm.
Um, Castellanos is an interesting piece. I don't love him, but he's hitting the middle of that Phillies lineup, so he's gonna do something.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I think it works out. I don't know if I would have done it if I was Frank. I think I would have held on to Jordan, but that's just me.
Yeah, he just retooled his entire outfield. He lost Trout. He was losing Alvarez to the IL. He didn't know it at the time, of course, but he gets back Ian Happ and Nick Castellanos, the corner outfielders, and now between them and Jung Hoo Lee, he's got his outfield back.
Yeah, yeah,
Hopefully, this is the
and Trout
formation that goes.
and Trout's coming. Trout's on on the rebound, so he'll be back soon.
Yeah, he will. He will. Frank's MVP this week goes to Jeremy Pena, 17th round pick, 308 with a 333 on base, 4 runs, 2 doubles, a homer, 7 RBIs, a steal, a walk, and 4 strikeouts. With a shout out to Yiner Diaz, who's finally starting to hit 308 with a 333 as well.
Yeah, they had really eerily similar lines
I
this week.
see that. Yeah,
Each had
very
seven
similar.
RBIs, each had a home run, each had one walk. Like it was
It
pretty
was
creepy.
weird.
Yeah,
Very, very weird. The least valuable hitter goes to the newly acquired Ian Happ, unfortunately. 077 with a 278 on base, a run, a homer, 3 RBIs, a steal, 3 walks, and 6 strikeouts. Just not a great week as far as the batting average is concerned.
yeah, and now he's banged up with this oblique. That could be tricky. So who
Mhm.
knows when he might return?
Yeah. His Cy Young this week goes to AJ Smith Shawver, 13 and 2/3 with a win, 6 walks, 12 strikeouts, an 066 and an 088, and he had a no hitter into the ninth.
Yeah, so he picked him up. He had a no hitter through seven, broken up by Santiago Espinal, who he had also picked up that day. So he wins both ways.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, he does. So Smith Shawver's a Cy Young. The Cy Yuck goes to Yimi Garcia, I guess, for a 2025 ERA. Jeff Hoffman also took a loss, but had 2 saves across 4 relief appearances. So it's got to go to Garcia for his loss.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
And I
I
love
mean,
the
at the end of the
2025
day,
periods.
and Frank threw to a 245 ERA across 77 innings. That's another great pitching week.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
Sick. Sick. For Bobby on his bench this week, he goes 4 for 32. That's a 125 batting average. 3 runs, 2 RBIs, 3 steals, 3 walks, 9 strikeouts, and an error. None of it plays.
Well
For
done.
his very well done. For his moves this week, he used 8 of them. Ben Brown was bad in a start against San Francisco. Simeon Woods Richardson was okay in his start against Baltimore. Trace Sweeney, 4 for 8 with 4 RBIs in the DH spot on Tuesday. Mickey Moniak, 3 for 7 with a run, a double, and a strikeout as a DH and in the doubleheader.
Yeah.
Zach Littell, 6 innings, no decision, 5 strikeouts versus Milwaukee. Carmen Majensky was a bluff. Jacob Junis was also a bluff, and Reed Detmers was also a bluff.
None of them. Well, he dropped Scrabble name, and the other two guys never came in.
Right. See, I think what he was trying to do, Frank had 3 starters going on Sunday. It was Wheeler, Sale, and Alcantara. And I know
Yeah.
Frank had absolutely no plans of playing Alcantara with how bad he's been. And going into the Sunday night game, Frank didn't realize that Mitch Spence had exploded for Bobby in Sacramento and given up the whip category. So when the night game started and Wheeler was still in the lineup, and home runs was tied, but Frank couldn't get anything else good from the start. I called him and I said, "Hey, Frank, what's Wheeler still doing in your lineup?" He goes, "Oh, I've got to lower the whip." I said, "No, you don't." Oh, damn it. Damn it. Damn it. Well,
I can hear, you know what? I can hear Frank saying that.
as it is, it didn't hurt him. Wheeler was brilliant, as always, but it could have been disastrous if he had a
It
bad
could have
start.
been. Yeah, absolutely could have been.
Yeah. Bobby's MVP this week goes to Jackson Merrill. 579 with a 600 on base percentage, 5 runs, 2 doubles, a homer, 6 RBIs, and 3 strikeouts.
Fresh off the IL, and he's back to doing what he does.
And it's as if he didn't miss a moment. He's been
Yeah.
fantastic. The least valuable hitter goes to Spencer Steer. 130 with a 167, a run, a double, a walk, and 8 strikeouts. Yikes. Is he doing
Yeah.
all right this year? Is he all right? What's he
Not
doing
really.
this year?
He's batting 188 with 3 homers and 11 RBIs. Not
Ew.
perfect.
Hey, he's got 3 steals.
Yeah, okay. I mean,
He's on his way to another 15-15 season. All
yeah,
right.
yeah. Batting maybe 220.
Yeah, probably. Garrett Crochet is the Cy Young this week. 7 innings, a win, a walk, 9 strikeouts, a 1.29 and a 1.14. And the Cy Young goes to Mitch Spence, who did have those 2 bad relief appearances and blew the whip for him. 3 relief appearances, 3 innings, 2 homers, 2 walks, 5 strikeouts, a 15 and a 233. Take that guy off the team. Bobby probably wins at least whip.
Yeah, I think you can dispense of Mitch Spence.
Yeah, I think that guy's kind of spent. As for these guys, I know they're both pushing really hard for the playoffs this year. Don't look now. Frank's only 2 games under.
Yeah, yeah, and he's right there, and Bobby's right there. Yeah, this glob in the middle that's always there, and like you said, like aside from maybe a couple of guys at the bottom, everybody's really in this, and it's gonna be a dogfight.
No doubt. No doubt. I can't wait to see what these guys do the rest of the year. It's going to be
Yeah,
crazy.
yeah.
All right, we move on to the next matchup. The penultimate matchup this week between Cody Pyatt and Chris Levy. And this one might be the matchup of the week. It goes to the 10-10 tie.
Yeah, pretty nifty.
Yeah. Was in fact 11-8 in Cody's favor going into Sunday. Levy gave up too many home runs, and so Cody flipped that, but Cody also untied stolen bases. So it was 11-8 in Chris's favor. It ends up as a 10-10 tie. So close categories this week. Cody wins by the steal, the error, 2 wins, a loss, 2 saves, a home run by a pitcher, and 2 ticks on the ERA. Levy wins by 3 homers and a walk. They tied in triples. For Cody on his bench this week, he goes 4 for 22. That is a 182 batting average. 3 runs, a double, 2 RBIs, a steal, 4 walks, and 7 strikeouts. The 4 walks would have won him the category. As for his moves this week, he made 10 of them. The trade, Yordan Alvarez for Ian Happ and Nick Castellanos. Rafael Montero, who did not play. Alex Call. Dane Myers off of the waivers, 2 for 4 with an RBI. Pierce Johnson. Merrill Kelly, who was bad against the Mets. Don't stream against our Mets. You learned your lesson. Don't do it again. Don't do it again. Garrett Whitlock, Ty France, Lucas Giolito, who was benched, Miles Michaelis, who was benched, and Steven Cruz, who was added after the bell. His MVP this week goes to Xavier Edwards. Really?
I mean, Cody hit 217 with a 306 on base, so it wasn't a banner week for him offensively. But
Okay.
he won steals, and Edwards had 3 of them. So there you go.
Yeah, there you go. He did lose every offensive category except steals and errors.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Xavier Edwards probably bringing it with the 3 steals. Wyatt Langford also had 3 steals, but hit 158. So, gross. The least valuable hitter is Ozzy Albies, 071 with a 129, 2 runs, an RBI, 2 walks, and 8 strikeouts. The Cy Young goes to Tomoyuki Sugano. Surprisingly, 7 and a
Yeah.
third, a win, 5 strikeouts, a 123, and an 041 whip. The Cy Young goes to Lucas Giolito, his first start after Tommy John, 3 and 2/3, a loss, a walk, 2 strikeouts, a 1473, and a 3. Not great.
Yeah, so he picked him up for that start and then dropped him and then picked him up again as the bluff on Sunday and didn't throw him. But Sunday he was great.
That's good.
Yeah.
Maybe he'll straighten it out now.
Yep.
As for Levy on his bench, he goes 10 for 36. That's a 278 batting average with 5 runs, 2 doubles, 4 RBIs, 2 stolen bases that would have won the category, 4 walks, 10 strikeouts, and an error. He made 5 moves. Jonathan Cannon, a 6-inning loss against Kansas City. Mitchell Parker, who was bad against St. Louis. Gabriel Moreno, 0 for 5 with a strikeout. Tyler Ferguson, and Matt Sauer. Great.
Yeah, the Ferguson move, I saw that happen. He picked him up like 3 minutes after the game started. I'm pretty sure he probably wanted him for that game and just missed it.
Well, there you go.
Wouldn't have mattered, but there you
Yep.
go.
Who else would be the MVP? Oh, wait, it's not Aaron Judge this week. It's Rafi Devers, 476 with a 577 on base percentage, 3 runs, a double, 2 homers, 8 RBIs, a steal, 5 walks, 3 strikeouts, and a trip to the principal's office because he doesn't want to play first base.
Yes. I Side note, I what an ass. Like, I'm sorry. Like, you're being paid millions of dollars. Do what your team tells you to do.
Yeah. Judge did have a 333 with 3 homers, 6 RBIs. He had a Judge week, so
Yeah,
nothing
he had a great
surprising there.
week, but Devers really came to play, and this is week 6. We finally say somebody other than Judge.
Yeah, no doubt. Adolis Garcia is the least valuable hitter, 100 with a 167, a run, a homer, 2 RBIs, a walk, and 2 strikeouts. Gross.
Yep.
The Cy Young goes to Griffin Canning, 11 innings, a win, 2 homers, 2 walks, 11 strikeouts, a 164, and an 091. Cole Reagans was pretty good too.
Yeah, 10 innings, 19 strikeouts.
Very nice. Very nice. The Cy Young goes to Tyler McGill for his first dud of the season, but he has been fantastic all year. 4 and 2/3, a loss, a homer, 2 walks, 7 strikeouts, a 771, and a 193.
Yep.
This was a great matchup. I can't wait to see what these guys are going to do going forward. I mean, I think these guys are really good, also going to be in this fight, and it's just going to take time to figure out who's going to shake in and who's going to shake out.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, we've seen what Cody is capable of over the last couple of years, and I think he's going to be in this fight all year long. And Levy, like, back in the league, like, he knows how to play this game.
Mm-hmm.
So there might be a little rust shaking off, but I think he's going to be in there for the long haul too.
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt. All right, buddy, time to talk about your matchup and to finish up the show. You took an 11-9 loss to Adam.
Yeah, I did. I did do that.
Disappointing week, I assume.
Well, you know what? Sunday was the stat correction. So we talked about Pete Alonso losing an error for Mike, but that error went to
Mhm.
Mark Vientos instead, and
Oh,
that gave Adam that category, and that I came on this morning and saw that, and I remember the play too. And it was a tough play for Vientos, and he threw it to Alonso. It bounced, and Alonso couldn't scoop it, and so they originally gave the error to Alonso. I think they could have scored it a base hit, but I'm not the
yeah.
scorer.
Yeah. Well, it was 13-7 in Adam's favor going in. It ends up 11-9 in his favor. So good job mitigating a bigger loss here. You flipped innings pitched and strikeouts by a pitcher in the Sunday night game. We talked about the error in the stat correction. So
Yeah.
All of that is what happened on Sunday.
Yeah.
Close categories this week. Adam wins by a home run, 3 wins, 3 losses, a relief appearance, and the aforementioned error. Jason, you won by 3 strikeouts by a hitter, an inning and 2/3, a save, and 4 strikeouts. And you guys tied in runs.
Yeah.
Brian?
Like, so I'm sitting there on Sunday, like Sunday earlier on Sunday, Vientos and Contreras both hit home runs to for the moment give me a lead on that. And nobody else in the rest of the day can hit me a home run. Meanwhile, he gets home runs from Addison Barger and
Mm-hmm.
and that's what wins him that stat. And I'm like I, I'm watching Corbin Carroll like have 4 at bats and like he couldn't hit one home run. Like it was just so maddening that nobody could hit one home run or score one run to do something.
Yeah. It's always annoying when you can't get that one run across, you know?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Oh, it's so frustrating.
For Adam on his bench this week, he goes 1 for 12. That's an 083 with an RBI, a walk, and 2 strikeouts. None of it plays. His moves this week, he added Grant Holman, who was good in his inning and 2/3 of a relief appearance, but he gave up his first run of the season, so that sucks. He added
Yeah, he
Tyler
also got,
Wade.
he also got him a relief win because all this guy does is get wins in relief. Like I
Ugh,
think he has like what does he have? He has 4 wins on the season in 8 appearances.
oh my goodness.
Yeah.
What a pain in the ass that guy is. He added Tyler Wade, Tyrone Taylor, and Addison Barger. Fuck that guy.
Yeah.
Yep.
Who was that guy hitting home runs on Sunday?
Yeah. Who is that guy? Not worth it. His MVP this week goes to Shea Langoliers, 381 with a 417, 3 runs, a double, 2 homers, 7 RBIs, 2 walks, only 2 strikeouts on the week. The least valuable hitter goes to Ellie De La Cruz, 133 with a 161, 2 runs, a homer, 4 RBIs, a steal, a walk, 13 strikeouts, and 2 errors. Here they
Here it
are.
is. That's Ellie.
It's bad Ellie.
Yeah.
Bad Ellie. His Cy Young this week goes to Carlos Rodon, who had himself a very nice week this week. 12 and 2/3, 2 homers, a walk, 15 strikeouts, a 284 and an 095. And the Cy Young goes to Luis Severino, who is now off the team. 10 innings, a loss, 6 walks, 7 strikeouts, a 1080 and a 2. And I don't think he's having a very good season this year in Sacramento.
Yeah, not great. A 470 with 132 over 53 innings. Not terrific. I
Yeah.
was watching that game because I picked up Luis Ortiz for the night game and I'm watching the A's to see if I need to throw him because innings was close and and strikeouts were close and Severino's getting the shit beat out of him by the Yankees. But they're not pulling it. McCarthy's not pulling him, and I'm like, they're just letting him keep getting more and more innings. And I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, okay, I guess I got to throw this guy.
Jason. Well, for you on your bench this week, sir, you went 3 for 32. That is an 094 batting average with a run that would have won the category, a double, 3 RBIs, 11 strikeouts that would have lost the category, and an error that did in
Oh,
fact
now it doesn't mean
not
anything.
even matter.
Nope.
You used 10 moves this week. Miles Michaelis, who was decent against Pittsburgh, Brian Bayo, who was very good in Kansas City, Steven Matz, an inning and 2/3 in relief, Cade Horton, who got you a win.
He did. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. In relief, that
yeah,
was fun to watch, even though it was
yeah.
against the Mets.
Luis Ortiz, who was bad against Washington. Colt Keith, 2 for 3 with an RBI. Ryan McMahon, who was awful for you and homered on Sunday.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and exactly. Like he was so bad. He was so bad in that doubleheader against Detroit, and then he was like the best hitter in baseball over the weekend.
right, right. Gordon Graceffo.
Yeah. So I picked up Steven Matz thinking, okay, like, because I read that, you were going to put him in the bullpen. Maybe he even falls into like a 3 inning save or something like that. I picked him up on Monday. He doesn't pitch until Sunday. I picked up this kid because he like got a save and a win. So I'm like, okay, maybe this guy is like high leverage. Doesn't pitch at all. He just doesn't exist. Thanks a
Nope.
lot, Marvel.
Great. Luis Ortiz, who gave you the innings and the strikeout you needed, and Walker Bueller on the IL.
I will
I
say it was refreshing to be able to throw Luis Ortiz against the Phillies and not have to worry about him doing anything bad. Like, because
Mhm.
ERA and WHIP and walks were and losses were all so far away, didn't matter. So like he could have gotten bombed. He pitched really well, but he could have gotten bombed and it wouldn't have mattered. I just needed the innings and strikeouts, and once that happened, I knew that I was okay there.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt. All right, your MVP this week goes to Wilson Contreras, 333 with a 500, 5 runs, a double, 2 homers, 6 RBIs, 5 walks, 4 strikeouts. He's been fantastic for you since moving to first base.
Yeah, he has. He got off to a rough start, like the first week or two of the season, and I was getting really nervous, because I
Mhm.
was really relying on him to be like a presence in the lineup, and he's turned it around. He's been pretty good.
Good, good. The least valuable hitter this week goes to Willie Adames, 154 with a 214, 3 runs, a double, an RBI, a walk, 11 strikeouts, and 2 errors. On the season, he's hitting 217. How you feel about this guy?
Yeah, he's shown some flashes. He's had a couple of games. I think he even had a home run this week taken away from by replay. He's had a couple of games where it looks like he's turning a corner, and then but he just strikes out so much.
Mhm.
Um, I'm trying to be patient, but I don't know what to do with him.
Yeah, it's difficult. It's difficult, especially with as a fifth rounder. You know, you're kind of dedicated to the guy, but you don't want
Yeah,
to keep shooting yourself in the foot.
yeah.
Yeah.
We'll see.
The Cy Young this week goes to Tariq Skubal, 7 innings, a win, 12 strikeouts, a 1.29 and an 0.29 WHIP. The Cy Yuck goes to Nick Pivetta, who was terrible. 9 innings, a loss, 2 homers, 6 walks, 10 strikeouts, an 8 ERA, and a 2 WHIP.
Yeah, he got blown up in Colorado on Sunday.
Mhm.
It was really the first, real bad start for him of the year, and it happens in cores like okay. But like I just watched that was another one where like I was watching the game and I was like, okay, how long are they gonna stick with him? And they, like because him and Severino were getting beaten up at the same time. So I
Mhm.
was like, okay, who's gonna have more innings, Pavetta or Severino? And they ended up both with 4 innings. So that led me to have to throw Luis Ortiz, which still got me the innings and the strikeouts anyway.
All right. Well, you closed the gap, my friend, and you are sitting right now fairly pretty. 7 games under 500. That's
7 games
very
under.
doable.
Yeah, yeah. I feel pretty good. I like, I kind of like the schedule going up ahead of me right now. I'm not in the
Mhm.
gauntlet yet. I got Henry this week, and then Sherman, Costas, and Ari. So, like, I feel like if I can, win two or three of those, I feel like I'd be in good shape.
I think so too, and I think you're going to get at least one of those. But over the next 4, I think you'll win one or two of those at least.
Yeah.
At least. All right, man. It's time to name the manager of the week. Who is it this week for you, my friend?
Oh boy. Let's see. Uh, I it's gotta be. Let's go with the blowout and give it to Josh. Yeah, giving Casas kind of a bit of a slap, and say no. First place is my house. Get out of my house.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm gonna give the manager of the week to the upset of the week. Brian Lebo taking down Mike Haber is
I like it.
always
I like it.
always a surprise. And yeah, Brian is getting himself righted here. He's out of the gauntlet. He's only what did I say 7 under 500. He and you
Yep.
are basically in a deadlock tie. So let's see what happens this week with him. And good job, Brian, on getting a big win.
Yeah. Yeah.
Jason, this has been fantastic, man. Thank you so much for being here with me.
Of course. I love being here, and another crazy week ahead of us. I can't wait to see what happens.
No doubt. It's going to be an amazing week, guys. Thank you so much for watching and listening. Until next time, it's been real, it's been fun, and it is always real fun in the bigs. We'll see you next time.